What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. And by far, today's episode is going to trigger you, okay? And that's my intention. So, disclaimer here, I'm going to say a lot of things that it's probably going to piss you off. And I really hope that's the case because at the end of the day, like where you are right now in your life, that's why this episode is called Your Comfort Zone is Killing You. Your comfort zone will kill you. It will destroy you. If you're not stepping out to your comfort zone each and every day and nobody is in your corner pushing you, helping you and making, getting you outside your comfort zone and holding you accountable to that, you're going to die. You are going to have a miserable life. Your finances are probably going to be just horrible. Your relationship with maybe your spouse and your kids are going to be horrible. And your health is probably going to be horrible. Now, here's the bright side. I don't want this to just be all negative and me just to talk down upon you guys in today's episode. That's not the intention, right? Like, yes, I'm going to shake you up. Yes, I'm gonna wake you up. I'm not just gonna slap you a few times in the face. Background in MMA here. Like, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna start putting some elbows on you, right? But you need that. It's tough love for a reason. If let's say like your kids did something and they were out of line, you don't want to discipline them, but it's necessary. Well, let me ask you a question. Who is disciplining you right now in your life? The reality is probably nobody because you don't have a coach. You don't have community. I say it all the time. The reason why most guys fail at reaching their goals is for two reasons. One, they have this big ego, this know-it-all. Oh, I'm a man. I don't need to ask for help, right? Or, oh, I got this. YouTube is free. Google is free. I learned how to fix my lawnmower, on Google and YouTube. I don't need to hire a coach. I can figure out how to, lose weight all by myself. They have these egos, know-it-alls, right? They think they really know when they don't, right? Most guys that are over 30% body fat, they struggle with their weights. They eat next to nothing. My 3-year-old son eats more food than them. And then they wonder why they just are continuing to put on body fat literally month over month, and their health deteriorates. They have a horrible relationship with food. They think it's calories in versus calories out when it's not. It's the furthest from the truth. So that's the first reason why most guys fail. The second reason is there's no support. There's no community. You're on the island all by yourself. And let's face the facts here. When life throws you curveballs, which it definitely will and do because that's the inevitable, you get hit with one of those bad boys, you fall off the wagon. You go back to your old ways. Right? Nobody's there to catch you. Nobody's there to help you. And hence why year after year, it's the same old song and dance. You probably try to improve your health, improve your life. And it's just this roller coaster ride of lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, but never actually having sustainable results. So today's episode, we're actually going to be talking all about, in my opinion, okay, one of the hands down, the best things that you can honestly do in your life. But I bet you anything, you are not doing it. And that's simply journaling. Now, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, awesome. You guys get to see all my journals. I'll bring them here on the camera in a second. If you guys are listening to this podcast, just know that I got a stack of journals, literally a stack of journals. So, for example, here's my journal right now, okay, that I'm going through. And I'm going to, share with you guys how I like to journal. Because I know some of you guys, you're like, oh, I'm a man. I'm a truck driver, right? Like, I'm an engineer or I'm a CEO. I'm a man. Like, I don't need a journal. I don't need to say these stupid affirmations in the mirror. I don't need to meditate. I don't need to visualize. Like, I'm a man. But the reality is when you really wake up and look at yourself in the mirror, you're probably broke, fat, unhealthy, and unhappy with your life. So by me journaling, because I'm a real man, by getting my emotions out of me and focusing on my goals and focusing on being selfish, I live the best life that I want to live. I get to do what I want when I want. And I'm not saying this to brag or boast because I'm completely grateful for my life. And I'm reminded that every single day when I journal, when I say my affirmations, when I look at my vision board, I realize here that I had to go through hell and back. But all the woo-woo fluff, right? All that like girly stuff like journaling. Some guys dog me all the time. They're like, yeah, why would I sign up for your coaching program? You make guys buy a diary. Like, yeah, call it whatever it is you want. But hey, these guys also lose anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds of fat, have more energy, have more confidence, and know how to become the best version of themselves in 90 days. So that hey, that $5 diary makes a lot of sense at really changing somebody's life. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit more specifics about journaling and then how that applies. But once again, going back to this, right? Because I don't want you guys to think I'm being boastful here or I'm prideful by saying like, oh, I got to live the life that I want. But I'm here today to tell you, for a personal perspective, when you are selfish and when you have a burning desire of what it is that you want, and there is just filter, right? Like that's it. It's just tunnel vision, and you're after that. And any kind of distraction that comes into play, you have the blinders on, and you really don't care at all. Guess what? You're gonna reach your goals in life. Now, some of you guys care way too much about what other people think. And before we even get into journaling, like I want to remind you guys, I have an episode about how to have unshakable confidence, and it's all about bringing out your insecurities. Mine, for a fact, like when I was growing up, I was emotionally and mentally weak. Okay. Some of you guys think like being a man is just being strong, physically fit. No, like it has nothing to do with that at all. The strongest men that you see has nothing to do with the attributes of their body, but has everything to do with the attributes of their mindset and how they see themselves and then how they perceive themselves. Now, the reason why most of these guys, 98% of them, have physically fit bodies is because they understand that the body is the product of their own mindset. Meaning, like, you can't focus on your mindset, but then eat like crap and not train because you understand that the reps that you put in working out, the reps that you put in with, like, obviously the nutrition, and if you have more energy, less brain fog, like, you want that. So that's why most of the times when you see guys that are super successful, yeah, they look a certain way. We all do, right? We're all physically fit, right? We all voice our opinions, but you want to know what's the best reason about us being physically fit? Has nothing to do with the muscles. It has everything to do with the mental fit that we have, the mental muscle that we work on. And how do we work on that? It's daily practices. Daily practices. If you are broke, fat, out of shape right now, it's because of your daily habits. Look in terms of your habits. Let's say you got a job where you make next to nothing. Well, guess what? What are you doing on your off days? Right? Like, go find another job where you can make some income, and that way you're not as broke anymore. Plain and simple. Go, start reading books. Go to a library. Like, the reason why you guys are struggling with your health, your finances, and probably your relationships too, is because you're not disciplined enough. Why? Because you're staying inside this comfort zone, and it's slowly killing you, literally, day over day. I was having a conversation, right, with my buddy today at the gym. And it has everything to do with mindset because, he wasn't feeling too good. He was actually dealing with an injury. And he says to me, he's like, man, I just feel weak today. And I say, yeah, but you showed up. Like, just because you're feeling weak physically doesn't mean you're weak mentally. You showed up today. You could have had every reason to stay in bed, not drive to the gym, but you did, man. Even if you came here and you just walked on the truck, you showed up. Most guys, right, like they need to hear that. You just need to show up. I hear from guys that apply for coaching all the time. Joe, I'm scared to go to the gym. I don't want to feel embarrassed with the way that I look, or I don't know what to do in the gym. Now, that's easy for us as coaches because we can then teach them, right, how to work out properly in the gym. Our training app has the sets, the reps, the workout exercises, so they're not going to look like a fool. But at the end of the day, true confidence, right, is not caring what other people think about you. You're on your own path. Like, the reality is this, like, every single day, I'm one step outside my comfort zone because you know where my goals are? They're not here in my comfort zone. I don't have my goals right now, and I never will because I'm a goal setter, a goal achiever, and I'm always making new goals. So that means day by day, I have to force myself outside that comfort zone. Now, what is the best way to force yourself outside that comfort zone? It's not going to the gym. It's not, let's say, going for a run. It's not just cutting out all your fast food and eating nothing but salads, because one, I think that's horrible and miserable. I think the last time I had a salad was probably like 12 years ago. I don't know how people eat salads, just being completely honest. Like, my salad needs nothing but just chicken and meat and steak all over it, and a little bit of lettuce, right? And then like barbecue sauce on top, right? But regardless, it has nothing to do with the physical. outside your comfort zone has everything to do with the mental. And the reason why you guys should be focusing on that so much is we live in a world where literally you're trying to be brainwashed. Honestly, I don't watch the news. But guess what? I saw the news today because my phone wasn't connecting to the Wi-Fi at the gym. So they got the TVs. You know what I saw? And it was the most disturbing thing. I literally want to leave the gym. Like I thought I was going to throw up. Something happened in Thailand where some mass shooting at a daycare, a child center happened, and there was over 30 lives taken. And then right after that, there was some video literally about some couple that was kidnapped in California and murdered. Like that's it, right? A few seconds of me just looking up from my phone because obviously the Wi-Fi is messed up. So I look up and I'm seeing this, and I'm just thinking to myself, we live in the most miserable, depressing world there is. But yet at the same time, it's so beautiful because there's so much love, joy, and compassion. But it has everything to do with where are you looking at? Are you looking for the hate that's on social media, all the drama, all the negativity, everything that's on the news that I got to witness this morning? You guys literally wake up and turn on the news first thing in the morning. And think about that, right? You're so in line with your subconscious mind, the first early, 30 minutes of being awakened. And here you are filling it with negativity, drama, stress. And you wonder why you're broke, fat, and out of shape. You're horrible relationships, right? Unhappy. Think about it. Your morning routine is filled with negativity, drama, and depression. And you wonder why that's in your life right now. Plain and simple. Now, if you turn to this corner and you got the love, the joy, the compassion, your goals, success, abundance, right? Financial independence, it's because you are choosing to focus on that. You're not choosing to focus on the drama, the stress, the negativity. You're choosing to focus on the love. So what could you do, right, to focus on this that's also in alignment with stepping outside your comfort zone, because your comfort zone's killing you anyways? You can journal. The reason why I say like this is hands down the best thing ever is because this little $5 thing on Amazon, right? I got one that has just blank pages in there because I like to just, do my own thing. And we're going to be talking about some tips for people that aren't hip, right, to journaling and how they can benefit from it near the end of this episode. But I journal. And once again, if you guys are watching this maybe on Facebook Live, cheers. If you guys are watching this on, the YouTube, here is just my journals from like the past couple years, okay? That's it. These are filled to the brim, like literally every single page. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I journal, just like how the other episode I talked about, my vision board. And I'm giving you guys an inside scoop on how I do a vision board. I do things differently from mindset mentors and gurus that you hear out there, because at the end of the day, I don't care. They could tell me to do one thing, and I took a $5,000, mindset course and training. Like it was great, but at the end of the day, what the real connection is having your heart and your mind come into balance. And it has nothing to do with someone telling you to do something. It has everything to do with you doing something a certain way and you feel it. It resonates with you. So these little diaries that I get made fun of, right, because I talk about them so much, they've, not only changed my life to where I can literally live and do whatever I want, but most importantly, I know where I'm going. Most of you guys live the same old boring lives and, blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, which tomorrow's episode, we're talking all about, type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol. So stay tuned for that if that's something that you guys are struggling with as well. But you guys that's living this life where, you're lazy, you're broke, you're fat, and it's been like that past 5, 10, 15, 20 years, look in the terms of your own daily habits. I bet you anything, right? You are not stepping outside your comfort zone. Well, at the end of the day, think about it. How do you really become a man? You have to go through adversity. And life's always going to throw you curveballs, right? Life's always going to throw you stress. But what if you actually wake up and you step outside the comfort zone? You say, hey, I already know it's coming. I already know that stress is coming. It's the inevitable. Let me push myself and build that mental muscle. So that way, when the stress comes, better are you prepared? That's the mindset shift that I want you guys to make. Because most men today, They are emotionally weak. They are mentally weak. They have no ambition over their goals. This is what happens. They go up, right? They have, oh, I want to be this. I want to be this. I want to be this. Then they graduate, right, from high school. They go to college. They get a 9 to 5. They get married. They got some kids. Then their life sucks the rest of their life because they're like, oh, I got to take care of my family. I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of, my kids. And guess what? They put themselves last. They put themselves last. And guess what? Like, I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I'm married. I have a kid. And guess what? Still to this day and for the past, 10 years, I've always put myself first. No ifs, ands, or buts. And the reason why I do that is, well, my family gets to live the life that they want. We don't worry about finances. We don't worry about any of that stuff because I'm selfish. I put myself as a priority. That's what being a man is about. Because guess what? Like, I'm not a slave to working a 9 to 5, and yet somebody else is, teaching my kid how to grow up. No, I'm teaching my kid how to grow up. Because at the end of the day, I really understand like what this world is all about. Speaking about that, right, before we go into journaling here, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some tips, especially if you guys are beginners. I'm going to share with you guys exactly how I journal and then give you guys some tips if you're brand new looking to get into it. But understand this. If you're not taking control over your life, somebody else is. You have no control over your kids, okay? But the same thing applies. If you're not raising your kids, somebody else is. If they're addicted to, the tablets or not being active. And here's the thing, like, I get it. It's fun, right? It's enjoyable. Like, me and my son, we play this wrestling game all the time on Xbox. I literally bought him an Xbox or Xbox controller, right? Just so we can play, 2 versus 2. And it's adorable. It's fun. But you know what we're also doing? We're going for our walks, right? Point example, I want to share with you guys. This is me 100% bragging about me and my son, okay? We're at the mall, and I'm returning something. And all of a sudden I said, Oakley, did you do your squats today? And he said, no. My son's 3 years old, starts right there in the middle of the mall doing his squats. And there's like all these different, like 5 different like ladies. They're like, that is adorable. Like, they're like, he is so strong. I'm like, oh, check this out. Oakley, flex, right? He's flexing on him. He's like, the cutest thing in the world. And they're loving it. They're absolutely loving it. The lady behind the desk says, you are doing such a fantastic job raising your son. Best compliment ever. The next day, right, which was yesterday, we're at the park, right? We're going for a walk after we get done playing some video games because that was a trade-off. Hey, we can play video games, but Daddy's in this step challenge getting his butt kicked by all these Heartletics members. So, hey, at the end of the day, like, we got to get these steps in, right? Because I see these guys, like, crushing it, like 40K steps in a week or a day, and I'm like, holy cow, like, I'm struggling to hit 15. And we're on this walk. We're going through the park, right? And I'm recording it because, he just like, I love getting it on there and like recording it on like Instagram or social media. And he knows that because like, I'll tell him to scream as loud as you can I know if somebody's going to watch that, they're going to feel inspired seeing this little 3-year-old scream out his affirmations. So we're in the park. I'm like, Oakley, scream out your affirmations or I'm going to record you. And so you just hear him say it so loud, right? And there's no one around. And I'm telling him like, dude, no one's around. No one's going to hear you scream out top of your lungs. He goes, I am brave. I am strong. And then he goes, I love myself for who I am and who I'm becoming. Gives a big flex. And I'm like, it melts my heart. Literally melts my heart. And I honestly, like, I take nothing back from my childhood at all, right? But I just wish I had somebody teaching me, whether it was my parents, right? Whether it was an outside mentor, whatever. I wish I had somebody growing up, right? Where they can say, hey, listen, this world has nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with how you see yourself and who you are within. Hey, at 3, Joe, start telling yourself you love yourself. I'll say it like this. I have a son, right? I don't plan on having any more kids. But if I had a daughter, okay, I'll put it into perspective for anybody that has daughters out there. You guys are like, oh yeah, I want my daughter to, be married to a man that, has respect for her and everything like that. Well, guess what? Teach her to have respect for herself. Start telling her, right? Like, hey, sweetheart, tell yourself that you love yourself each and every day in the mirror. And let's say that together as a team. Let's build up that relationship. Start telling yourself you're strong. Start telling yourself you're independent. Tell yourself, look at yourself first thing in the mirror, right? Dead in the eyes. Guess what? Now, when that daughter grows up, she doesn't care about the approval of what she has to look like on Instagram to get all these likes. She doesn't care about the approval of how she has to look or dress because she has her own self worth. And it all starts with that father figure in her life or somebody, a coach, a mentor in their life, simply telling them, hey, it's okay for you to say this. Screw everybody else, right, on what they have to say. You tell yourself you love yourself first in the morning because at the end of the day, nobody's life here is promised tomorrow. That's the effect, and that's the mental switch I want you guys listening to this episode start realizing within your own life. It changes everything. The woo-woo, oh, Joe, what are you talking about? Like, you're religious. You shouldn't be meditating. You shouldn't be visualizing, right? Like, you believe in God. You don't need a journal. At the end of the day, right, I do believe in God. But also, I understand this, that if I'm not focusing and working on my mindsets, the world is. Who's going to brainwash me for success? The world that wants me to be just like everybody else, fat, broke, out of shape, living on Social Security the rest of my life, financially like just dependent upon the government? No, I'm going to brainwash myself for success, abundance. And I've been doing that throughout the many years by journaling. Here's how I journal. Now, this is everything on this podcast. This is just personal perspective, right? This is just what I like to do. This is how I like to do it, okay? Take it or leave it. This is nothing more than just tips on what I like to do. Journal however you want. Say your affirmations however you want. I'm only going to share with you guys what works for me and my clients that I'm coaching. That's my job on this podcast. Make a vision board about however you want. You want money on there, millions, right? All these hot chicks, do it. I don't care. It's your life. Plain and simple. Do what makes you feel good. This is how I journal, okay? The front cover, okay? Front cover, I don't want to hold it up because some of the stuff is actually personal, right? So the front cover, it's my affirmations and it's my goals. So literally, like if I think I got Mark's journal here, the Donut Give Up one. This is my travel journal that Mark gave me. So shout out to Mark. Yeah, I got my stuff in there too. Anytime I get a journal, I always write in there. Yeah, it's in the back too. So we'll ignore that part. But here's how I journal, right? The first page is my affirmations. The second page is my goals. And the reason why I like doing that is because I know my affirmations. I say them to myself in the mirror, but like literally just like reading them also gets inside your brain. So I'm reading my affirmations. They're the same affirmations that's literally on my vision board, right? 1% better each and every day. I'm becoming the best version of myself. I love myself for who I am becoming. I'm so grateful for the life that I have. Like these are my affirmations. These resonate with me, you know? Like I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm fully capable of changing 1 million people's lives. Like these are my affirmations. There's no difference from, my wife telling me, hey, you did really good today. Like good job, like you killed it, like you signed up some clients, like whatever the case may be, like awesome job, I'm proud of you. There's no difference from her telling me that and me telling myself about that. But at the end of the day, like I'm a man, I love, right, getting compliments, so might as well compliment myself and do that first thing in the morning. Fall in love with myself for who I am and who I'm becoming, and that's what gives me my successful life of where I am today, which you guys can obviously implement and start practicing as well. Now the back, right? All right, I don't got anything back here. Actually, I do. But the back and how I like to write is a recap of my goals, but then I like to write a little, maybe like 2-3 paragraphs of just if I already achieved my goals, what is a day in a life? And this is a lot of fun. So like if you want to, I don't know, become a millionaire, drive some fancy sports cars, whatever, just write a day in a life of how that's going to look like for you, right? Like for me, like here's literally a day in a life of like what I like to see and how I like to see. It's just like I had a great team meeting. I was able to give, several coaches, pay raises and bonuses because think about it, right? Like I love giving to others. I do. That's why this podcast exists. I love giving value. I love giving things other. I love making other people happy in life. But it all starts with me making myself happy first. Be selfish. So a day in the life of like a perfect day, right? Giving some coaches, right? Some bonuses, some promotions. Then I'm doing some admin work. Then I'm doing a live coaching call. There's like 100 clients that show up inside of our coaching call. It's an amazing time. Everybody has great conversations with one another. I see that, in that meantime, also throughout the course of the day, we already signed up, 5 new clients in just the course of the day. After work, right, I make sure to create a video, right, just talking about like the end of the day, everything for that way the coaches know for the next day, like, the things about the new clients, etc., right, just doing the things I had to do as a business owner, okay? And then after that, hey, guess what? Put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Oakley comes home from daycare, my wife comes home from work. We have a great day. We go out, get some food. Maybe we go to the mall, whatever the case may be, and then watch a movie together as a family. That's it. I go to sleep. Next day, do it all over again. That's my dream life, right? Plain and simple. Like success in business, success in my family. Obviously, I'm working out, doing all the habits, everything that we talk about at Heartletics. But you can see, like, there's an alignment there. There's goals, there's passion, and it has very little to do with me and a lot to do with everybody else. Coaches are being successful, right? They're getting promotions and bonuses, and obviously, like my family as well. Now, as I'm, journaling, right? I got a few minutes left here. I keep on looking at the time on the podcast. As I'm journaling, like what's actually like going inside of, what I'm writing down. Okay. I'll say it like this. Even though I have my affirmations in the very beginning and I do read them to myself, I still write them out. Okay. I like writing out anywhere. I got several affirmations and it all goes on how I'm feeling for that day, on what I need to say to myself to kind of hype me up to be in a better, more positive mood. So I usually write out like 3 affirmations, and I typically write out anywhere from like 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for. I love it. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for this. And I go right in my paragraphs. Okay. Now, I do believe in God. I'm a firm believer. Okay. Growing up in a Christian household, everything like that. I like feeling connected to God. And so what I like doing is simply just writing a little letter, right? Just dear God. And how I'm just writing this out is 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs. And I've been doing this for years. I haven't switched anything up. The first paragraph is just gratefulness of what's in my life right now. That's it. That's it. Grateful of what's in my life right now. I write down just a few things that how I'm feeling for that day. Every day is different, guys. It's not a one size fits all. We don't sell one size fits all cookie cutter programs. That's why the guys that's looking for the cheap coaching, the one size fits all, we're not your guys. We're not your coaches. If you want to continue to fail, do everything else. If you want to succeed, you got to learn how to invest into yourself. And that's where we come in handy. So I'm writing down, right, what I'm grateful for currently right now. The second paragraph, this is where I'm writing down also like what I want my day to dictate. But I say it in a way where I'm grateful for it. Like, let's say I know for a fact, like we have 2, let's say Coach Jimmy, right? He has a few qualification calls with somebody. He has 2 of them. I'm saying I'm so grateful that, Coach Jimmy was able to successfully sign up these 2 new clients. I can't wait to learn more about them inside of our coaching program and talk to them personally, right? I'm just writing stuff out like that. Maybe I'm so grateful that, I was able to have quality time with my son today, go to the park, anything like that. Just write out how you want your day to go. That's it. That's it. Just write out how you want your day to go. And then the last paragraph is write out how you want your life to go. But how I write it is always with gratitude. So yes, I'm technically writing out like I am so grateful, that every single day I'm coming on here creating this podcast and I'm getting, hundreds of thousands of video views, on my YouTube. And I continue to see the subscriber count just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And every single day when I make a new podcast, I'm able to resonate with somebody on a personal level where they realize here, I got to stop putting my health and fitness goals and most importantly, my life on the back burner. I need to sign up for a call with these guys. I need to see what Heartletics is all about. And so every single day, right, we're getting tons and tons of applicants. And guess what? I write that stuff out every single day. And it has brought me my life where it is today that I'm very blessed and grateful for. So guys, as we close things off to an end, realize this, that when it comes down to journaling, it's not one size. Do whatever makes you feel good. It's the same thing as you just complimenting yourself, hyping yourself, right? Like getting ready for the day. That's all. Because if not, hey, guess what? Social media, all the drama, negativity on the news, that's going to get you ready for the day also. But that day is going to be filled with depression. And if you're somebody that's just like, let's say you tried journaling, hasn't really worked for you, you can literally go on like Amazon and buy like a men's 90-day journal where it already has stuff written in there and you kind of just fill in the blanks. But it gets that thinking cap going. And that's what I want you guys to start doing. So hopefully you guys got some value. If you did, make sure to share this episode with a friend or family on maybe social media. And as always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. Talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.